So you've started a band and picked what you think was the perfect name, one that captures the essence of your music and artistic style. But hold on. There's some important things to consider before you start performing under that name and slapping it on CDs and merchandise. Contrary to popular belief, the selection and use of a particular mark is not always a simple process. In this first installment of the three-part series, I'm going to discuss what trademarks and service marks are generally, as well as the basic steps that you should take in selecting a mark. In subsequent episodes, we'll discuss in more detail specific trademark and service mark issues applicable to musical artists and bands. Trademarks and service marks are important considerations for every business, and as I'm sure you already know, music is a business. Essentially, trademarks and service marks are devices used to identify the source of particular goods and services. As those terms suggest, trademarks identify goods and service marks identify services. For the most part, the same body of law applies to both, so I'm just going to refer to them generally as trademarks or marks. Trademarks serve two primary functions. First, they protect the public by preventing deception in the marketplace. Essentially, they serve to ensure that consumers of particular goods and services are buying the genuine articles rather than fakes. Second, they protect the reputation and goodwill that a business develops over time. Thus, marks can be extremely valuable intellectual property assets. Words, numbers, designs, and even sounds and smells can function as trademarks. However, simply picking a band name and logo from thin air can be a dangerous proposition, because the mark you select might be confusingly similar to an existing mark, which could result in a trademark infringement claim. The best practice is to work with an experienced trademark lawyer to select a mark that's not confusingly similar to marks that are currently being used to identify the same or related classes of goods and services. To do this, trademark lawyers use a two-step process called trademark clearance. The first step is the preliminary or knockout search, and it's used to knock out the conflicting marks that are relatively easy to find. For example, if someone wanted to start a soft drink company and call it Coca-Cola, that's the type of existing conflicting mark that would show up on the preliminary search. The preliminary search generally includes a search of all records in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, domain registrations, and internet content. Assuming that a chosen mark clears that preliminary search, the second step in the trademark clearance is the full search. Most firms, including DeSalvo and Levine, use the services of an outside search company to conduct those much more intensive full searches on a more cost-effective basis.